So we're gonna be reviewing the Summer House Reunion Part One, and it was a main show.
You know. You know.
Literally.
That's all you can really say at first.
Yeah.
For those of us who get it.
Not gonna lie, I didn't expect it to go in so quickly.
There was a lot going on from the jump. That's why I will always say the intro was iconic. Chef's kiss. And for me, it's like production got so lucky. Or did they? I don't know. Was it set up? You can never know in Bravo. But to have Lindsay and Kyle in that perfect position to get the ball rolling and to just introduce the drama like that, then you get Mia, then you get Jesse, then you get Carl's a mess. It's just a lot going on. I loved every second of it.
Literally, the perfectness of filming in the city, grabbing that Kyle,
I mean, like,
walking over.
Yeah. It was great. Like, that's everything I've ever wanted from a reunion. Finally, I'm getting it, and I loved it. I did think it was interesting because it wasn't until Kyle was talking to all of them that I realized the relationship that he had with Wes. Like, when he was saying that he went to Wes' parents' house, I'm like, see, that's the beginning of the end of any relationship. Once West invites you to his parents' house, just know he's gonna fuck you over.
His parents' house is like flag.
That's where relationships go to die.
Like, everyone can go. It's open.
Right.
It means
Right.
nothing.
It means absolutely nothing. But I just thought that was interesting. I also Carl's reaction. He's usually not someone to give like a lot of like, he's very, soft Carl. We love soft Carl now, but to see how annoyed he was, it kind of put things in perspective, how insane this whole situation really is.
Right.
So
Definitely.
I love that.
Definitely.
But okay, we can go to West and Amanda and just how they entered. Let me say this. If I was Amanda, you wouldn't have even seen the whites of my eyes. My head would have been down the entire time. Shame. That's all you would have seen from me.
You would
Shame.
think, right?
You would think.
Those two came in like Carlon.
Yes.
Like,
Little peck on the cheek. Wes and Amanda on the door. I said, where are we? What alternate universe am I in? Insane.
No.
Just the fact that there was no immediate remorse, the giggles, the chilling and laying on each other. When Andy came in, you could even tell Andy was like, oh, y'all are going to get your assy out there because y'all are not apologetic at all. It's crazy.
You guys seem calm.
Yes. And that was funny.
I was shocked. I was shocked and not shocked because number one, Amanda's lazy, and number two, Wes is always going to be chill. So shocked but not shocked because like I thought you were going to come into this attitude remorseful. Even Tam and Raquel came in remorseful.
Can you imagine? And they faked it, and we knew they faked it, but it made us feel like, okay, they get it enough to even try and fake it.
They know that what they did is wrong.
Right. And Amanda, for me, like West, not that I give him more grace, but I just don't expect much from him. Amanda has been on this show for 10 years. You know that what you and West did is so out of the ordinary of how things go on this show, just like Carl was telling KJ. Remember where she does. And this is it. No one, but then there's something like this or Amanda,
Anyways,
Oh, and you were mentioning about KJ, about the Yankees game and like how he was the one that was supposed to go with West to that.
Yes. And I was just looking like, that is so crazy that KJ was supposed to go to the game. So Amanda, you weren't even the first invite. But also, you and KJ were supposed to go to a game. You didn't text him?
Mm-hmm. I mean, the more information comes out, the more you realize every single step of the way, they chose to do this wrong. And then they continue to lie about it and play in our faces. It's like one thing to play in the faces of the viewers, but to play in the faces of people who are actually your friends, who actually know your day to day, who actually know what's going on. You guys are foolish. You're foolish.
Snakes.
That's all. I did want to ask you, because the Sierra that we saw with Andy, that was emotional, that was very vulnerable, where he was asking her, you know, like, how do you feel and all that, versus the Sierra we saw on the stage. How did you feel like those two, like, kind of personalities were a dichotomy of each other? Because I felt she was allowing herself to feel, but as soon as she got on that stage, she was like, I'm in battle.
No, definitely. I think with Candy, it's I'm not gonna say a safe or space, but with someone who empathizes with her, with what she's with, it was easy for her to be like, no, I can't even hide my emotions. This is really hard. But on that stage, maybe she got it that.
She got it. She got it.
And I love,
and it was beautiful to watch.
I don't even know what I expected from Sierra. 10 out of 10. No notes. No notes.
She was ready from the second that, and even before she walked out on the stage, you could sense that everyone was ready. Everyone was ready to go. You know, it was all shits and giggles until Amanda walked on that stage, and it was just, I feel like they were giving her the energy she deserved. I did get a little scared when Wes came on at first because he was being this, Wes is funny to me, has that charm to me. And he, from the news that they were discussing and just how he approached that, I was like, damn, he's already making me laugh. He's already making me laugh. This is not good.
First of all, just really quickly, the walking out. Amanda's outfit. Ode to Sierra and its last reunion outfit, whatever. Her butter,
always trying.
Yeah. But to be fair, everyone looked great. Lindsay and her red ribbon chest.
Loved it. Chef's kiss. The AI photo of Kyle made me laugh for sure. Everyone was looking, even the guys. Hot take, Sierra's outfit was not my favorite. I feel like it could have been better. Right. Of what we've seen her, even all the stuff we've seen her in since, at appearances and stuff, I'm like, you could have done anything, but she looked amazing.
She did look amazing. And to be fair, it was her backup outfit.
Right,
I still think she looked amazing because that's Sierra. And also, I love the red hair. She hasn't really got color. Loved it. I have a suspicion that maybe it was like a white dress or white piece, which would have fit with that hair.
Exactly. And it makes, I really want to know why she didn't wear her original. I'm very intrigued to know why she had to change to her backup.
Well, maybe alterations, or
maybe,
who knows? But
how did you feel about Wes' audacity to be looking her up and down while your new girl is sitting next to you like that?
Not like, are we shocked at this point? Because he does this every reunion.
Every reunion, licking his lips, saying, "Oh, you look great. You look great." Girl. Exactly. Every time.
And
so,
him starting off with, oh, I just got a text that my nudes are going around Missouri. Okay, look. If Kyle got that,
you don't believe it, do you?
Spit out. It was a simple.
But I truly feel, because I think our time is distorted since everything we watch with them is in the past, right? So, like, we're not experiencing it in the same time that they are. And so I just feel like it does make sense 2-3 weeks after their announcement. That's when all the news were going around, and that's when they recorded the reunion. But I just never know with Bravo what is real and what is like made for TV.
I mean, I do believe that his news got leaked because he was a hot topic. And to be fair, from what we've seen, all the women that came out, I don't think that's all. So I'm not.
Of course not. Of course not.
News are going around. It was just a sympathy ploy. Him talking about, I know people like, he was saying like, am I hard? Guy thing to ask. I don't care. I don't care.
To be like, oh no, it's flaccid. I scream.
That took me out.
When Kyle said, how many digits do you have to send for it to get back to me? I felt that in my spirit, because truly, how many? But, that's West for you, so it is what it is. But it was just a great reunion, just everything. And that's just like the first, 10 minutes? There's so much in it, so I love it.
We haven't even scratched 10 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love how they went right in, like, Sierra. And I don't think that that's what Sierra thought was going to happen. The energy, just like she said, whenever Andy eventually asked her, like, what are you expecting out of this? She was like, well, after that. So I felt like that was the moment it clocked to her. Oh, Amanda's really about to try and downplay this. She's about to try and make me look crazy. She's not going to come in with the right attitude. So that's when Sierra was like, oh, I'm going for the jugular. Because, Sierra, part of her, I think, was still, she's like that hopeless romantic, hopeless, like, friend where she's still hoping that there's like a sliver of something.
Maybe you'll come off, maybe you'll find some morals.
Right. Or at least apologize. For her to take Wes back after 2 years, imagine Amanda, one of your best friends. Like, there has to be a little bit more compassion there. Or I guess others could argue there's more anger there because she held Amanda to a higher standard than she held Wes. So I don't know.
You went through this with me.
Right.
Defender. I'll die for Sierra.
Right. That scene with her and me on the beach will never leave my head because that was the moment, even if we didn't know everything that happened between her and Wes, that was the moment I clocked like, oh, this is all performative for you. You're doing what you think a friend in your position should be
not
doing
what you
for
actually
Sierra.
feel, because every time
Exactly. Right. So, when Andy had asked Wes, like, or when he was opening the segment and he was like, Wes denied multiple times on Watch What Happens. Like, do you think that Andy's still salty about that? And like the fact that he didn't know ahead of time and he found out with everyone else when they released their statement?
I honestly don't think Andy is salty because arguably this makes it better.
I know, but Andy has a problem with them lying to his face.
True.
He doesn't mind you lying to the viewers,
No.
right? But when he asks you directly, hey, did you do this? He
Everyone.
expects that,
Everyone would have a problem with someone lying directly to the face. That's why the whole cast because you guys deny. And to be fair, I have a suspicion that they were hide it.
Oh, well,
They were never.
of course. Bringing us back to the audio that was leaked beforehand where Amanda had said, like we were talking about before, where she had said that there was footage of them in a very vulnerable position, yada, yada, yada. But then when Andy asked her, well, I don't know what was on the footage. So what could y'all have possibly been doing that you just heard footage was out there and was like, I need to come out with this statement?
She said an intimate situation in the video. But y'all are trying to tell us that it didn't get intimate till after the statement. Make it make sense. Y'all
Very PG. Very PG. Maybe it was only ear stuff. Maybe they were only doing ear stuff.
platonic sleepovers.
Right. I've never in my life had men over my house that many times. And what are we doing? Just looking at each other?
Cuddling.
Looking into each other's eyes?
This is NYC we're talking about. Get out of here.
Please.
And y'all are
single?
platonic.
Right.
But let's get though.
But Sierra didn't hold back, as you know. And then Amanda saying I had an awakening. And then all of them coming in and being like, oh, well, you don't have any friends. I never felt bad for Amanda at any point, but there were times where I was just like, no, I can't even say that. I wanted to say I kind of understood where she was coming from, but even then, you had an awakening and you jumped into another man's bed immediately. You had an awakening that you were in the shackles of marriage and you chose Wes to wake you up. That was your awakening? That's crazy.
But she's lazy, right? She just jumped into the other room next door in the summer house.
Exactly. She's actually too lazy to even put in the work to find another man in New York. Just like Sierra said, there are literally millions of people men in New York. You chose the one man that you know would hurt me, that I've been talking about for the last 3 years.
That you know. You're in arguably the best city to be
right. To be single and figure it out.
But baby, what?
Right. And I just feel like you were saying, it does add to Amanda's laziness. Like you don't even have it in you to like go on a date, go on Tinder, go on Hinge. I don't know. Sleep around, have fun. It's like, what? I don't get it.
That's what's there for her.
What? You're right.
And I wasn't.
Was right?
I was going to talk about Jesse's timeline and being asked if he was like the Tom Schwartz of the situation, which I thought he was. Sorry.
Yeah. And I still think the comparison between the whole Scandival thing, it's still not equal, but don't get
Not
me.
equal, but unpopular opinion, I think it's worse. Sorry.
I think it's worse for me as a viewer. I'm not on paper, right? Because they were married. I get that. But the treachery here to me is deeper. That's just how I feel.
But they were married. Tom and Ariana were married.
Wait.
Lived together. For 10 years.
Getting that
Amanda
wrong.
and
You're right.
Amanda and
Kyle are actually, let's be current, are that don't pull the fifth out and start talking in past tense. They are under the eyes of the New York law
married.
and God. They are married. No. So my attorney has reached out to Kyle, but we've gotten nothing.
Where you haven't.
Prayers for our good sis.
No.
But yes, we need Jesse's timeline, and I think Wes cut him off on purpose.
Of course.
Because he knew once Jesse started talking, Dunzo.
Yeah.
And you know what's so crazy? We didn't even talk about this in the beginning. When Wes said that there's nothing new, that everything's already out. Remember when they were talking to Andy in the beginning, like, oh, everything's all out. We just need to solidify the timeline. Right. Address the rumors and solidify the timeline. I'm like, you guys really thought you were going to come into this reunion with your timeline all perfect and whatever, and we weren't going to have questions. Mind you, these are not even us viewers, the people that are your friends that you hang out with. The guy that the girl you're with is married to, that you were chilling with at brunch before you went to go make out with her right afterwards.
Let's talk about the statement. That was the first thing. Andy addressed the statement. Yara was like, oh, they could say our names finally. That was finally.
I love that. I love that.
It was like, what?
Yeah. I think, and Amanda heard her. I think Amanda was trying to act stronger than she was in that moment and be like, speak up.
The first
as in Sierra doesn't mind.
Up is against your best friend.
Yeah.
Oh.
I like it, right? Little sliver of hope until she told Sierra, fuck off. Then I said, oh, let me just shut up. Sierra, you got this. You do whatever you need to do.
Would you speak to Paige like this? If you did.
I don't think she would. She would not even do this to Paige, let alone speak to Paige. She wouldn't even be in this situation with someone like Paige. And I will always stand by the fact that she was, and I know you said this too, that she was friends with Sierra out of convenience, especially this last summer. Because if you think about it, if Paige was in the house with them, Amanda wouldn't have leaned on Sierra as much. That's what makes it so treacherous, is we had to hear all of this happening, and then alongside that, watch Sierra be an amazing friend to Sierra. I'm sorry, to Amanda.
Right. Look at the cast. Who is Amanda's friends outside of...
Right. Every year, and like even the friends that she's brought, Lexi was her friend that she brought on last year. Amanda's track record with Ben was one of her besties. Look at how she treated him halfway through the season, talking about, oh, he was hitting on her and all this other stuff. So it's like, I don't think Amanda understands what constitutes as friendship. I don't think she understands what constitutes as marriage, since she thinks that her and Kyle are no longer married, although no one has filed for divorce. So I'm just, it's very interesting. You could tell when Sierra first started saying when she pulled out that phone, Amanda was like, shoot.
Yeah.
I got.
And she made sure Amanda did not overtalk her. Every text. Amanda was being so vague in those texts. Sierra needed clear.
I love Sierra's comebacks. Yes.
I knew Amanda.
Like, just to clarify,
To be clear.
To be clear.
Any veracity to this. We know you had to be veracity.
I know, but I love good lawyers speak. I do. And you know what I found interesting? She said those text messages were the second week of January. They had to do Watch What Happens Live together 2 weeks after that. And so I'm like, Sierra's actually good, because when they were on Watch What Happens Live together later on in January, I did not
I think
notice
she
a
believed her.
dimple. You do?
Yes, because it's like it's so unfathomable
Because the opposite, yeah.
that she believed her, and then she denied it. She doubled down after making it clear. Doubled down. Maybe it's a mixture of okay, I have to believe her, and we're in B. But I think she's even more pissed. She believed her. Because
But just like you said, what was the other option? Something so unfathomable that you're like, no, like Amanda's capable of a lot, but not that. Even me and you.
why
Many
did
times
I
at least
believe it?
I didn't believe it either. For weeks on my timeline, over and over, I was like, y'all need to get a life.
I was thinking
This is crazy.
April Fool's is coming. They're gonna deny it on April Fool's.
We didn't even make it to
Baby, we got that vague.
We didn't even make it.
We got that vague statement. Didn't address the people that you hurt. And shout out to Claro.
Shout
How
out
are you gonna
Carl.
sing a birthday
Mr.
song
Mess.
without a
Thank you. I remember because you were the one, for those who don't know, you were the one who texted me and said, have you seen what Amanda posted? Me going about my day like a normal human being did not think it was about to be rocked like that for the next month and a half.
mind you, I was just on Instagram because I don't have a notification on Instagram. I was just on Instagram. And it comes up on my For You page or web page. And I said, this isn't true. Someone made this up. This is AI.
I said, what is happening? What fire started? That was not on my bingo card. Anyway.
My favorite term, a second tower has been hit.
A second tower has been hit.
Somebody asked them, when did you guys they've seen
Right. Okay. Yes.
Mind you,
Yes.
on Watch What Happens Live, Jesse talked about that brunch where it was him, Kyle, Amanda, and Wes. And he said it was weird because Amanda kissed Kyle at the brunch.
Yes.
This is weird.
And they said it was a joke. It's always a joke.
I think she was probably trying to hide something because later that night you told me that's the night that kissed Wes. And then Kyle was so hurt hearing that.
Kyle really didn't know. And I do think because so many people have come back and said after watching this last season that they believe West and Amanda had something. I don't think they did. At least I think Amanda started developing feeling because she developed feeling for anyone who stands up for her. You know, I feel like if Carl wasn't so close to her and Kyle, she might have even, dived in that direction at one point. Anyone who gives her attention, she's like, anyone who gives this girl attention, she's like, I have to have more. So I think I saw, especially those last few episodes of the season, as Wes is like checking in on her, I think that's where the emotional thing started. I really don't think they were hooking up before until I do believe things were going on in January. I even told you, I listened to a podcast, Beyond the Blinds, where, they got a blind item early February that said they saw Amanda and West like very intimately out at lunch, and it was obvious they were in a relationship. And then Amanda comes out and says, oh, there was an intimate video of us that we heard was going to come out, but that was from early February. Y'all are trying to convince us that you did nothing till March 1st. Okay. And then you didn't hook up until after the statement came out. I don't fucking believe you. West is not someone who screams patience in bed to me. Okay. When he wants something, like even West sitting there saying, when Andy asked like who initiated this, and he's like, well, I was the one. I could totally see him being like, am I crazy or is there? And then Amanda's dumbass being like, oh my gosh, I feel it too. And from there going.
To be fair, I do think emotionally, Amanda developed a crush on him probably after the summer. And then that's when Wes had the there's something here. Because she hangs on to the person that she's with, develops their personality, takes on their style, whatever. She's probably like, Wes is this cool guy. He's standing up for me. Feeling, he is attractive. Feelings are coming in. So I think it was emotional way early on. I definitely they were intimate before whatever this timeline is.
Of course.
It's worse. We slept together.
Just like Lindsay said when she asked Wes, "What is worse, just hooking up with someone and Wes dumb ass sat there and said, emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah, not hooking up." I was like, don't even answer questions right now, Wes. Stop answering questions.
No, Lindsay,
you know?
Lindsay ate that. But then let's compare it to the Greek audience that came out, where she was like, you were smoked out.
Yeah. Yes. I love that. And again, we needed to hear all of that because those parts that were cut out from the audio that was leaked, not that it made Amanda, it's not like the production was, as people originally thought, trying to protect Amanda.
A bit.
But those parts are so, even Kyle calling Wes out in the leaked audio where you heard him say, like, you try and act a certain way and everything, but not having that in the show. So then we're going back to Kyle and you're like, why is Kyle looking so emotional from such like a softball question? Not knowing that he was saying all this other stuff to us. That's what I want to hear. Kyle keeps saying like, it wasn't just Sierra, it was me too. I want to hear Kyle's point of view outside of trying to defend Sierra, you know? Amanda.
Amanda. Yeah. Amanda. I definitely agree. I will say though, they did leave out some parts of what Amanda said that when I heard it on the leak, I had a visceral reaction to what she was trying to say, trying to imply
Which one?
about audience and how hard it is, and how she has to treat Wes because they're in an interracial relationship. She is like that girl on TV who has only dated white men on TV.
On TV.
Right. So she was just saying it's so hard because you can't help who you have feelings for on the racial aspect. So for Amanda to make that,
and then use that in her situation. Yeah, it's crazy.
Weirdo situation makes no sense at all. Which lets me know you don't really listen to Sierra when she talks.
Right.
All people, Kyle is the one listening.
Right, and because he got it. He got it.
I always get
That's his girl. So I really think that's a word, because when you explained that to me, I was like, just like you said, it makes what she said even more treacherous, that you're using these words that Sierra said in a very specific situation. And I get what Sierra's saying because like I'm in an interracial relationship. I know what it's like to get that. So you kind of feel like you have to be on more because it invites more insult. You're now taking that to say the man that you stole from one of your best friends while you were married to one of his close friends is in the same realm. It's not. It's not at all.
I don't.
And it's treacherous.
Actively trying to downplay it because she was. She was trying to downplay. It's like, no one has ever done this before.
No.
Was like, no, ma'am.
Okay, but Zuby, to be fair, for them to act like this never happened, I hate to say this, but I do get what Amanda was trying to get at, although the plane did not land. But I get what she was trying to get at in the sense that many people go through the situation Amanda's been faced with, where their friend is with someone that they end up liking.
That Amanda.
Right, but then they don't always do what Amanda did as a result. But I get it's not crazy she's right. What they did is not the craziest thing that's happened. But we are more involved in I can go somewhere. We are more involved in their friendship because we watch you guys on our screen every single year. We have, just because this happens in other people's daily lives, we don't know what's going on. We can't judge them because they're not in reality TV. We don't see what they do for 8 weeks of the summer every single year and the friendships that they build from that. And then, like what comes out of that.
Right.
So we have that parasocial relationship with you, So yes, we're going to comment more, Amanda, when you do something crazy, because that's what you're paid to do. Just like Carl said. This is your job. You guys are supposed to tell us the truth or whatever your truth is, and like, that's just what reality TV is. I don't get it.
I agree. And to be fair, I know that it is reality TV, but compared to any other cast I've seen, this cast is actually close. To be sharing your look.
They are, yes. Yes. They were friends beforehand too. Right. It's not like the show.
They hang out on
that core group. Yeah.
They go to each other's important things. Sierra's birthday. Right. That was their thing. They go to that. But for her to say, this isn't the craziest. No shit. We know it's not.
We know that.
We know.
We know that.
This isn't.
People are dying around the
going
world.
on
We get it.
in the street
Right.
for moods. We know.
Right.
But in the summer house realm,
Right.
when
This
your
is the most
ex
important thing
buddy's
that's
over
ever
there
happened.
talking about how you hurt her, do not try to downplay their low down and dirty
Mhm.
behavior. And to be fair, we all have probably heard about the situation. But if that was me and my friend group, I might arguably be even more pissed.
Mhm.
Are we morally bankrupt?
And as Mia said, Mia put it so succinctly and so perfectly. And like we talked about this because that's like you doing that to me or me doing that to you. Like it's actually very crazy. You don't even need to be best friends with someone. I have acquaintances, people I've worked with, maybe things like that, where they've dated someone. My eyes don't even go in that direction.
Never.
Just like Sierra said, you can help yourself. It's called self-control. It's called being an adult. You know,
Well,
like that's
having
it.
character.
Having an ounce of character. Yes. Yes, exactly. So I think like Amanda's selfish. And instead of being able to say, you know, I'm not willing to give up the wants of my flesh, as they put it in the Bible, the wants of my flesh in order to be a good friend to you. You weren't like, and just like, who's her other friend that Katie DeLuca? In one of the clips that they cut out, when she brought up Katie DeLuca, Amanda was like, well, I've been friends with her since third grade. You got yourself right there because you're saying that your relationship with Katie is stronger and you value that more than your relationship with Sierra because you wouldn't even think to do that to her. But with Sierra, just like they said, you guys thought it out. You planned it. You made sure that like you lied to so-and-so and you were turning off your location. That takes like conscious thought to do things like this. You are aware. Although the more hoops you had to jump through, the more you had to think about what you were doing. And that's what's so bizarre about all of this, you know? It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Okay, one of the non-Amanda things, Ben and Bailey, and, you know, like how Bailey reacted to what was going on. I feel like we kind of feel the same way where it's like, I get where Bailey's coming from. Watching that scene when it happened, it did make me uncomfortable. Not so much how Ben was talking to her, but the little sly comments Ben was making, like when he was saying, oh, it's so dirty in here. And like, well, I don't have anywhere to sit. Like things like that. You're trying to embarrass her. Like, I know what you're doing. But I also think like Bailey held on to the anger that came. Clearly stuff has been going on that we don't know, or maybe conversations are happening that we don't know. But I just felt like it was a lot because it didn't match the way Ben was talking to her wasn't matching how she was coming back at him. But that could be me. You know, I don't know.
I will say, of course, I agree with Bailey that when she said it, it was like it was a joke. A horrible joke. But it was
no horrible joke, awkward, bad timing.
They were all joking about it, and Ben after that laughed the boys about it. So to be fair, he did come at her strong. But on the reunion page, I do think she was strong.
She was strong. She was strong. And to go from that conversation to kind of like having to talk about women, which again, I can see how we don't see everything. So I don't know how Ben talks about women, but
I like Bailey a lot. This is nothing.
I great addition. I love her. I do.
But
I just felt like that wasn't really. I don't know.
I think
she's allowed to do whatever she wants. She can react however she wants. We weren't there, so I don't know.
I think she read the comment.
Right. Yes.
Because
And then reacted out
about how Ben speaks to women. So I think sorry, Bailey. I think you read the comment. And to be fair, it is a valid observation.
It is.
But I don't think Ben has anger issues. And
there wasn't enough evidence during the show. Like the only clip they could pull is when he was telling Sabrina to hurry up. Mind you, I was watching that with James, and James was like, that's how you act when we're getting ready. You just waste time.
Right.
So sometimes they like, can you go? Like, I don't think that scene was enough to be like, oh, Ben is so terrible towards Sabrina. Or
But she
whatever.
clearly,
Sabrina seems like a ditzy girl that needs to be reminded to hurry.
but to be fair, she clearly has hung out with him because she says she loves Sabrina. She has hung out with him off camera. But I mean, we'll see next season.
We'll see. I mean, Bailey definitely, you could see the wheels turning in Andy's head, and he was like, next season, confirmed. Contract written out for Bailey. But do you think Ben's going to return next season? Because I've heard a lot of mixed reactions about Ben.
I
do, but they ruined it. Wes and Amanda ruined it.
Yeah. Those two gutter rats. But
Yeah.
I really do like his script. So if he returns, cool. But he does it, cool. Bring someone else on.
Yeah.
New characters to this. Yeah.
I just think they thought he was going to be a bigger impact than he was, being like Australian Bachelor and all this stuff.
Single.
He was supposed to be single. Okay, I do think that him and Sabrina broke up before he got to the house, but I think they broke up because he wanted to fuck around. And then when he realized that he doesn't have the character to be the fuckboy that West is, he was like, let me go back to what I know. And that's when he brought I don't think he was with her the whole time, technically, but I do think he had her on ice until he was ready to, like, be in a relationship again. You know?
I agree with you. I don't care. I'm for it. Like, that's...
I'm just trying to make sure we talk about other things other than...
Sure. If they're together, sure. If they weren't, I don't care.
That's fair. Okay,
but I will.
We can move on.
Care about is when Amanda said, "Ben does want to F me."
Mm-hmm. And I hope they talk about that
too
at some point because Ben, I don't think people emphasize that enough. How Amanda was clearly acting towards Ben and saying like, "Oh, he wanted to," while Ben's sitting there saying like, "This is just platonic." So I think that's a whole other thing that we really need to get into because, Amanda, I don't trust you now.
The way the union was edited, we know that it wasn't, beginning to end. It wasn't in chronological order. They were going in and out. So hopefully part 2, part 3, we will get all the things that we're missing.
Exactly, yeah. I'm hoping. I just feel like Tuesday's episode is going to be so good. And
part 2 is going to be the best.
Oh, I'm so excited for it. Don't come for me.
I was going to get into the KJ, me, and Sierra of it all.
Yes, people are like, all hail Mia. I like her.
Yeah.
I'm not obsessed. I'm just not. I don't know. It's not like, I don't know. She just doesn't give me like, and I felt this way about Sierra in the beginning too. It took me a while to like really like love her. So maybe I'm just not there. Like, she's a great addition, but is she like my favorite ever? No, she's not. I don't know.
I love her.
I feel like everyone's gonna talk.
No, you're entitled to your opinion. Your opinion can change. I personally love her because she's kind of like the moral compass in a way.
I think she's a great she is like the better version of Lindsay for me because, to be honest, like I said, we've watched Summer House for a while. Lindsay is not the angel. People have very selective memory when it comes to Lindsay. Lindsay's not nice. Lindsay is not like an angel, right? But she gets a job done. I think Mia is a better version of what Lindsay has always been for the show because Mia holds their feet to the fire. I loved how she was asking questions that kind of pushed their whole conversation in the right direction. As far as like, Wes, what were your intentions? What were you thinking? As far as breadcrumb, like she really lets it all out there because Sierra doesn't always talk. Actually, she doesn't. And so Mia's been a great addition to kind of get Sierra to say the things and to kind of speak up for herself more than she already does. So I love Mia for that. I think she's a great addition to the cast. I'm just like not obsessed like everyone else is.
I would say, I think on a meter from how you feel to obsessed, I'm probably in the middle. Like I'm not
Same.
obsessed. I'm in the middle because I think she brought personal story. The story behind her,
which is great. Yeah.
So touching. So sad. I actually cried.
Yes. Yeah. When she was talking about her parents, like that always gets me. And it's so beautiful to kind of see her, healing on the show as well. So glad that she left that man, don't even know his name, but so glad she left that man.
Not strange. Yeah, I am glad too.
He needed to go. They weren't even on the same level as far as energies. He needed to go.
Yeah.
He needed to go.
I
was happy to see that.
Mia, KJ, Sierra, I love it. I love sister as a little brother. I am obsessed with KJ because number one, I didn't even realize till he said it that he's the first Black man on the Colonel's cast.
I know. Yes, that didn't even click with me because I was thinking back. I was like, "You're so right. You're so right," which is crazy.
Yeah. So him coming in with that kind of pressure on his shoulders, his anxiety, not knowing his personality. I love his personality because it isn't like, let's be honest, it isn't the typical maybe personality, Black personality that you would.
He gives me like what a Black emo boy has always. It really is, you know? And I love it. Yes, I love it. I love it.
So vulnerable, so in touch with his feelings. I love how he came in, obviously owed to his sisters, protecting the girls. I love KJ.
I know. And KJ kind of he's at that age where you would expect someone on Summer House to be. We give a pass to the Kyles and the Carls of this world because they're OGs. But like, that's the age group. That's the demographic that we're looking for. What he's going through makes sense to me. And I love that, he's so open about it because like, it makes me think of Mary from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and like everything she just went through with her son and like him being so vulnerable, to the audience. And then seeing that again in Cage and hoping that, it's not too late for KJ, right? And like, he will be able to truly get the help he deserves. But I do think like being with Dara and like, having me and Sierra in his corner, that's a really good starting point. And that's a really good like base to have on your side, So I really love that for him.
I do too. And him going into recovery, such a touching story. Sierra, obviously Dara.
I know. That honestly, and it was crazy to me because every time they kept panning to Carl and Jesse, I'm like, how blessed is he that he is on a show with people? We talk about their parties and everything, but Carl literally, I have watched Carl turn into a completely different man. I hated Carl, especially from like season 3 to season 5. I could not stand Carl. He was the worst. The Workus twins, that other girl that he was terrible to. I can't remember her name right now. Carl was a menace. Then he lost his brother, And so he's been through that. Jesse, as much as we want to make fun of Jesse literally had cancer, has gone through a huge thing. He gives back, like that's someone good to have. Mia and Sierra are very in touch with their emotions and feelings, and they're a good shoulder to cry on. So it's like he has so many people that can help him. Thank goodness he's on a cast of people that actually give a shit about him, So I am happy about
Jesse crying.
I loved it. And but I think Jesse had also, he was crying before. And this is why I hate the cutting to scene, because I'm like, I want to know the origin. I think Jesse is that was part of, he is most upset about the friend Greendown, because remember in that second to last episode, how excited he was because Sierra less, and like, those were the moments. So, sometimes friendship deaths are worse than actual relationship deaths, and I think like Jesse was just watching it die because he came in really hoping that West and Amanda would just own up and be
Remember,
they didn't even let him read his timeline.
Phaedra on Atlanta was like, maybe I loved you more than I loved my husband. That was crazy, but fair statement.
That we might be seeing that again. And you know what I mean?
And I do think, because Jesse talked about it on an interview where he said that has been done to him before. So
yes, he did say that. Yes. And so maybe it's like triggering something in him, So I feel for Carl. I wrote in my note, Jesse is a mess, not Carl.
Jesse is that way.
He's a mess. And then all Sierra has said over and over, at one point, me and Wes were best friends. Wes never, ever, ever denied. People love to put words, especially the Amanda defenders online. We've seen y'all.
I'm not even
disgusting people.
Yeah.
We know. If you know, you know.
No, you know.
But I think like it's important to note all those people defending keep acting like Sierra just made up this relationship that she had with Wes. Sierra said time and time again, her and Wes were best friends at one point. That is very important to remember. Wes has never, ever, ever denied that. Wes might, push back on like how long they were together, but he has never denied the intensity or the level of friendship or like how much he understands why Sierra felt the way she did.
We're magic.
And all those conversations with Ben, I feel like, imagine how vindicated Sierra could have felt this season if they hadn't done this. You know what I mean? Because Wes was finally saying all the things that we have wanted him to say for the last 2 years.
To be fair, love my girl. Yes, four will taste the men. But don't we all? We all have some exes that, hindsight is 20/20.
Girl, don't even get me started.
But in her defense, Wes was kind of leading her on. They should have definitely had a conversation, which she said they did. Talked about it in the summer, right? But even if we're just on that friend level, you do this, you pick her best friend, do this with her.
But that's what's like blowing my mind a little bit, because when they originally said the breadcrumbing thing, I didn't necessarily agree because I felt like, and we've talked about this before too, where Wes had tried to make it clear where he stood with Sierra, but then you always see Wes' words never match his actions. It's like he'll say something and it sounds good, just like Lindsay was saying, you sound so good, you almost got me. And that's because, yes, he did say numerous times like he doesn't want things to go the way they did the last time when him and Sierra were together.
Right.
But then you kissed her.
Yes, and that's
you kissed her.
I being Amanda, being a damsel in distress, and then also trying to step in and save her. Which who are you to be going around saving people
when you can't even save yourself? Let's be very clear about that.
And that's how.
So,
but Lindsay ate that though. He was like,
"Oh, Lindsay's monologue at the end, which he said, and it's not gonna work out." Now I was like, I injected into my veins. I loved it.
She's not my favorite, but baby, she's not. She clocks in.
When she is my favorite during reunions only, truly, because she will make sure. Lindsay wanted to get that timeline so damn bad, and they better get that timeline. Yeah. I need Jesse to bring out that paper in this next episode so we can really review it, because this timeline that they're dying right. Because according to Amanda, let's just review really quick. According to Amanda, she and Kyle announced their separation in January. They're just hanging out, very platonic. Everything is PG, just talking. In between that time, Wes and Sierra go to the Super Bowl together, yada, yada, yada. All that happened. It wasn't until a month and a half later that they acknowledge that, hey, something's going on. Then they kiss. Then after that kiss, they just talk. They just hang out. They're just having a good time. And then 4 weeks later is when they have sex the first time.
BS.
Wes waited 3 months.
Sierra said she texted her late January, asked her all the questions, and she said 100%. I lied. So you were doing something. Like, please save this for.
And it's like, okay, so you lied about what, right? Because if Sierra's asking you, Sierra made it very clear. Did you hold hands under the table? Did you kiss? Did you do that? You said none of that happened at that point. I'm supposed to believe y'all were kissing, y'all were hanging out, y'all were spending the night at each other's houses, but you didn't sleep together until April?
Save it.
No, we all have fool. We all have idiot tattooed on our forehead.
Yeah, you were the fool. Like,
this is the fool.
Who are you lying to?
Oh. Okay, final questions. What are your predictions, or what do you definitely want to see in this next episode?
Part 2, I want a clear, strict clarification of the timeline.
Right.
So that it can be debunked.
That is It is important. It really is.
And then I also want them to expound on the Ben comment. Ben wanted to test me. I also want them to talk about, they talked about Mija, the girl who created the pie for him. The night he went and watched what happens live, when he denied that him and Amanda are doing anything.
While Amanda's sitting there, I knew.
So you knew about Mija the night that he denied y'all?
Right. Right.
And I also, you know what?
There's actually so much.
So long. And then also, I know they're not going to talk about this, but Southern Hospitality just got their reunion trailer. And Mia, the other Mia, is on there, and they're like complaining her about how she slept with Wes. Yeah, you didn't tell us that. You told us y'all were not.
But and also, I don't know if you saw, she posted on her story. She was like, I didn't know that or something like that, where she was trying to address it. But it's like, sis, this is all the information we needed before Andy sat them all down and forced them to discuss all of this. But now I'm going to have to watch the Southern Hospitality reunion. Right. So thank you for that. But, I mean, Andy is eating for days off of, now it's seeped into Southern Hospitality. You have In the City, you have Summer House.
All roads lead to Bravo.
All roads lead to Bravo.
Why I care about it is because that same night, Nia said they went on a date. Nia said Wes said he pre-gamed
at Amanda's
before coming on the date.
So Amanda knew. Like, that's what I don't get. And that's why Mia's question is so prevalent to this conversation. You left a 10-year relationship, a 5-year marriage to go be one of Wes' side bitches. And you're sitting there getting him drunk before he goes out on a date. Like, this is what the audience finds so unbelievable.
It is.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And I want Amanda, because look, I'm not, you know me. I am someone who I empathize too much with people. Yes, I feel too much. So for me to be looking at Amanda and at no point have any sympathy for her, I'm like, Amanda, what you just need to come out and understand what you did and what you guys continue to do, because they are 10 toes down, grabbing the sand, grabbing the dirt. They are not budging.
That's what pissed me off.
It's crazy.
That they came in.
Yes, it's crazy.
And so when Sierra said, maybe y'all will work out. Maybe Amanda's perfect for Wes. Because she
that last 30 seconds.
And not say anything. And that's why Kyle got a straight bullet. Because
Kyle said, even that was wrong for me. Even that was a lot for me.
That's your wife.
That's your perfect. And I hope Amanda was listening. Wife is the actual correct term in which you will be referred to moving forward, sir or ma'am.
In the state of New Jersey. Thank you, Carl.
In the state of Carl. Me over here saying New York, it's actually New Jersey. But, you know, I digress.
That is why I love this whole cast. All prepared.
And it's just unfortunate because we don't even know if they're all, I don't know who's returning. And even if they do return, the vibes are going to be the same. They're just not. They can't be. It's not Lindsay and Carl, no one is Lindsay and Carl, where Lindsay can compartmentalize to get her check. And it wasn't like her and Carl breaking up disrupts the whole function of the house, because they already had these relationships before.
Right.
You know, they were able to work through it. This is different. This is very different because Lindsay and Carl also didn't lie the entire time to all of their friends.
It wasn't a betrayal.
You know. Right. Everything kind of played out on TV, which was bad in itself, but it was better than this situation, you know?
Which is a giant.
If Lindsay and Carl can, be friends again, maybe there's hope. Maybe. I don't know. You're like, please no. Okay, but if a man, who are you okay with leaving and not returning, and who do you feel like has to return next season for this show to be able to move forward?
I don't know, because we have In the City, which was their transition from Amanda. Why is Carl not in the city?
Girl, we will discuss that next time. They said that he didn't fit the vibe of the show.
BS.
Yo, something happened, and you could tell Carl was upset, and I'm with you, Carl. I don't know if maybe Lindsay was mad at him at the time and like worked something out, and now that they're good, he'll be in next season. But it really makes no sense that
If
he's not
Danielle's in the city, please give Carl.
with a man who is married. You'd rather have that than Carl? Make sense.
We'll save it for in the city.
We'll save it for next time. Well, this was great. Good first episode. I love it. This was fun. Can't wait to do it again.
Yes, this was great.
All right.
You know, yes, let us know what you think. Comment, subscribe.
As we build our page, we will keep everyone who cares informed.
Yeah, it will be in all platforms: Apple, Spotify, YouTube, everything, Patreon, and our audio issues.
Correct.
Great first episode.
Cheers.